Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hello, my royalty. How are you doing? Okay, let's talk. Let's dish. Let's pour that petty tea. So, sip on something boiling hot or freezing cold, depending on where your location is. If you're anywhere in the northern, yeah, I'm hoping it's more on the boiling hot side. Stay warm, stay hydrated, keep your mental health together. If you need to call a loved one, or if you need my horrific dating life stories to cheer you up, bon appetit, bon appetit. And if you're on a hard time, it's like, I know how life is complicated. If you've been listening to my episodes, you know I've been through it. From a medical perspective, self-esteem, family, never feeling good enough because you are always compared to the other individual that you were born with, and everyone always saying how they are the better person, they're better at this, they're more talented, they're smarter, they're just etc etc. So trust me, I get it, I got it. So live your beautiful life, be your beautiful you. Don't let any of these people change you. Men, oh my gosh, with my dating life, so many men have tried to change me. And I realized how some of them saw, like, one of my half sisters, or my half sister, not one of them, yeah. It's like I have sisters at heart, or I have certain friends who are heavenly and amazing, so they feel like sisters. But I remember a few times she said, I had a twinkle in my eye, I have a sparkle in my eye, I have a shimmer and something. And I remember I asked her about a year ago, it's like, what do you mean by that? And because I've heard other people say it, but I'm just like, oh, whatever. You're just saying whatever to cheer me up. And she was like, no. She was like, you've always had this shine, your smile, your bubbliness, your sparkle. You have something that just gravitates and helps me get through times. And so even through all of the terribleness I have fought my way through, I think in some ways I still have hope. And so I guess I'm saying, please hold on to hope. If if anything, it's like if you have to let go of love and forgiveness and all of the other things, as long as you have the hope, everything else can be rooted from that. You can plant the seed of love later. It's like, because, oh, some of these people are trifling, awful, terrible, despicable people. So if you need to put love down, if you need to put just the workload of all of the emotions down for just a moment, do it. Because I I know how sometimes it can be so difficult that you don't know what else to do. So virtual hugs for you, and just know you are not alone. And I hope that all of you have someone you can call, and just, even if you texted a password. Okay, yeah, that's one thing I recommend. It's like, create a password with other friends. So when you text that word, like maybe French toast, yeah, I'm a foodie, I'm a thick girl. It's like when you text French toast, they're like, the friend knows, oh, emergency. Let me see what's up with her. I mean, it can be anything, even jigsaw puzzle. I don't know, just. But okay, I'm gonna get started. So enjoy the ride, because I've I've been really thinking more and more about the dating and marriage and the responsibilities and what the Republicans are trying to do within society. But then they have all of these expectations for women. They always want to blame women. For almost everything, they want to blame women. But then you look at the men, and so the man, a lot of these men are allowed to be lazy. They're allowed to cheat. They're allowed to not take responsibility. They're allowed to not know how or where anything goes in the house and mess things up on purpose just to make the woman do it and just say, see, you're better at it. Do it. And now we're at a point where now Republicans might be trying to force us to marry. But then they don't see our options. Some people actually think, oh yeah, just get married by 30. And I guess I've done an episode about the what's love got to do with it, Tina Turner style and everything. Because when it comes to marriage nowadays, I guess what does love have to do with it? You're giving women a deadline, and especially a lot of the older men want to marry these young girls. It's not well, maybe it has to do with love, but um, hmm, I just think these men really enjoy a young girl. Yeah, yeah. Let's look at all of the things going on around us right now because they are trying to blame the LGBTQ plus community on that, but look at who they keep catching. Look at who they keep finding mugshots for. Yeah, yeah. But then they expect us just to get married by a certain age because of our fertility and all of that stuff. Hmm. They don't want us to get an education because the more education you have, the less likely you would have kids. But at the same time, some of us with higher education wanted kids, but when we get into the dating pool, a lot of and see, and this is where like as a woman, I got blamed because so many men kept saying that I was stupid for getting higher education. They said I wasted my time. They said, like, I mentioned it in the last episode, so watch it if you haven't yet. But it's it's crazy how like some men told me if you either date me or get your master's, you can't have both. Some would tell me that I'm a selfish person because I wanted to get an education and or now I will probably be able to catch them in all of their mess. And that is despicable and awful and terrible. The men care more about, oh, she's smart enough to now catch me. She's smart enough to list. She's gonna pay attention, and she's gonna know when she catches me in a lie and things like that, or if I'm possibly gonna be cheating on her and stuff like that. And with my education, I want to own my own business and have a career and things like that. And a lot of the men who try to tell me no, but then I find out is like even though they always need to borrow my money, even though they always need to borrow my money or my stuff or my car and things like that, they don't want me to have the career job because then they try to. Some of them have tried to say I'm stuck up. I'm like, I'm using my own money to buy my stuff. You're calling me stuck up. Huh. My ex, Mr. No Heart, he only bought me stuffed animals for Christmas. The last one, he saw me crying. I think he thought I was happy. No, they were, I'm so upset with you. You are despicable and pitiful. You are so just, and I was like, I'm so mad, but at least you got me something, I guess. But no, I should not have thought that. But this is near the time where this is like right before I had to crawl for a few months before my surgery. Before, like, I had to then, after, to start doing more tests to get diagnosed. I was in so much pain that I was just like, okay, fine, you gave me something, whatever. I'm really annoyed and frustrated that you keep only thinking that I'm worth these, like, and yeah, these stupid toys. Because I was gonna say, well, no, maybe not stupid. No, the things he got me were stupid for me. Like, no. But then the only time he was going to buy me a present was when he owed me money. He was like, yeah, listen to, I already talked about that in the episode, so look that up too. It's like men want to keep blaming women for everything. And with my education, men kept blaming me. With my money, men kept blaming me. With me trying to plan a business, and it's like that. It postponed having kids because like I wanted to have kids after I found a husband, but then Mr. Lakaki, there was no way. But I remember when Mr. Lakaki said we could start saving money and put money in an envelope for a wedding. I don't think he realized I knew we were never going to get married. I was never going to marry him. I was never going to marry. Like, this man threatens me all the time that he's going to eliminate himself from the earth if I don't do as he does or as he says or whatever. He is very manipulative. He tried to get me jailed for his crime. He brought over a woman he cheated on me with on Valentine's Day. He took video footage of himself cheating on the on his new on his not iPhone, on his new Android smartphone or whatever. This is right when smartphones started being developed, so he's playing around and figuring out different things with it. He was under the influence, and I think about 4 or 5 times, I think it was around 4 or 5 times while he was under the influence, he would show me the new items on his phone. And each one of those times, it would be videos of him, recordings of him cheating on me in action, in action. And but then he would blame me. He blamed me because I never wanted him to touch me ever again. He called me hateful. He called me awful. He said that I am a despicable girlfriend. And but then when I'm like, you cheated on me. Why would you say that? I would never cheat on you. You're making stuff up. It's in your phone. You forget what you show me while you're under the influence. And at first, people, his friends and stuff, wouldn't believe me. And he would like, see, she keeps making up stuff. She's lying. She's this, she's that. So one time, he was under the influence and he started showing me. So then I call his older brother's girlfriend into the room, and I played nonchalant. And I'm like, oh, hey girl, hey. Yeah, come over, Lisa. Come over, Lisa. Yeah. Um, Look at what Lakaki is showing me. I know you want to see it too. Come on, look over. She looks at that screen, and all I hear is a now you're not gonna call me a liar anymore behind my back now, right? You're not gonna call me a liar anymore, right? And I just kept playing it off because he's under the influence. He has no idea. He doesn't know what he's doing. So I'm just like, oh yes, like see, you think it's funny. You're surprised too, aren't you? Yeah, ha ha ha. And I was like, I'm playing it off, and she's looking at me like, you're not hurting him. You're not yelling at him. What? You're not reacting? What? Like, I mean, she's just so shocked, but I'm like, you're one of the ones that kept going around and saying I'm a liar. You kept saying I was making up stuff, but now you see it right in your eyes. See, now you can't say a thing. You can't say a thing now. No, you can't. But men always want to blame the women. Because then when I broke up with him, he blamed me. You guys already, oh yeah, I talk about that part so much. Even in the last episode, I already said, like, all of his threats and all the blackmail and things like that. Because he was begging. He was calling all, like, I think in one day, one time, he called like 20 times in one day. It was just like over and over. Like, I had to put it on mute because I'm working at the special candy and alcohol, like, rehabilitation or like testing office or whatever. And I'm doing the research and I'm marketing or creating the marketing, whatever, looking up stuff and all, like, my ringtone go, like, the ringtone for him goes off and it's like, I'm just like, are you kidding me? And then again and again. And I've been broken up with this boy for, because, like, I can't even call him a man because he was so immature, awful, terrible, despicable. It's like he tried to get me arrested for his crime on purpose because he, and this is another thing, some of these men out here, they like this. These Republicans expect us to just get married to these men when some of these men only want to date and marry you to drag you down because they can't stand seeing a woman being more successful and determined and having goals and dreams and aspirations and stuff like that. The only part of aspirations he had is the beginning of that word, right? Oh, he didn't even have that. Like, he was one, he didn't have one. Oh yeah, I need to tell you guys about when he got the job to be a stripper. It was hilarious. It's hilarious. But anyway, I always got blamed. It's like he wanted my money. He would steal from jobs, get fired. I would find some stolen materials, went to one of the jobs, returned the items, and I had to make sure the boss knew I had nothing to do with this. It's like he would brag about stealing from you guys, and then he showed me some of it, but then I found more, and I bagged everything up, but I already told the full story, so check that episode out now, too. Yeah, but I always get blamed for it. Even when I was finishing my second master's. You think you're special. You think you're something. If you don't get your stuff together, it's like, because I want to go to the grocery store. I want to go here and there, whatever. It's like, and if you don't get up and, I was like, one time you try to do a countdown. I'm just like, are you trying to do like what your mom used to do? Are you really trying to count? You're trying to punish me because I'm doing my homework, because I'm about to graduate. Because if I didn't get up in time, he was gonna punch the hole in the wall, as you guys already know about that, or one time, he's like he got a knife, and he said he was gonna put markings in my car, and I was just like, well, if you do that, I'm just gonna call the police, and like, but yeah, he always told me, he's like, do you think the police are gonna believe a white man or a black woman? He always made that dig. And so that's one reason why I'm just like, he probably voted for Trump. He probably did too. I don't even say that name often, but when it comes to Lock a Key, yeah, those names together, yeah. Because when they start, like, I will never forget the day where we were watching Muhammad Ali, like, with Will Smith and everything, and him and his grandmother are saying how awful and terrible of a man he is, and he didn't fight for this country, and even during, like, segregation, everything, he should have, like, risked his life because it's like, since he didn't, he must not love this country, even though he didn't have all of his rights and everything. And see, that's why, like, even with these colonizing, no good, bigoted, heartless, river of racism jerks out here, it's like they think, like, well, you're less than us. And then with the guy in office now, the orange guy, see, he even, like, he's calling you garbage and that we feel like you're garbage. But okay, sorry, I'm getting off topic, but being on topic because, like, when throughout my dating life, especially the last 6, 7 years, I keep hearing men tell me how politics don't have anything to do with dating. But then when I was dating Mr. No Heart, which I hardly have talked about him, but I will. I'm gonna need 3 or 4. Yeah, this is probably gonna be a 3 or 4 part series right here. But with him and his family, all of the racist, awful, terrible political crap. It got to a point where my ex told me I was not allowed to talk politics, even though they would come up to me after dinner when he would go upstairs to like either puff pass with a family member or whatever, or like just whatever. It's like once he left, they would line up because they would look up my Facebook, or and then they would try to be friends with me on Facebook, but then I found out it was only because they wanted to look up my thoughts so that when they got here, like whenever I went up there or whatever, or whenever they came over to my ex's house, they could try to convince me to be a Republican. Till this, like his mom kept telling me that I need to listen to Candace Owens. I need to like relate to her. I need to like see eye to eye with her. And I already did the episode where I talked about how my ex should have dated Candace Owens, or he should have found a version of Candace Owens and dated her, because he had like, after dating him, I'm like, why did you date a black woman? Is this only because you want to be able to say you're not racist because you dated a black woman? Because that's the exact thing that your mother does. I'm not racist. I dated a black guy once. But then you say the only reason I finished college is because I'm black. And then you say horrible racist things about the Muslim community, the Asian community, the like African Americans. You tell me, oh, you're not one of them. Oh, they're so dangerous. Oh, it's like they always want to play the victim. And it's like they don't understand or recognize all of the freedoms and stuff in this country. But then when I started telling her about the history of this country, she was like, well, I didn't learn that in school. It's like, so it's like, it must have not been that big of a deal. The, the drowned cities of America, the massacres in this country, like you don't know too much about the strange fruits that people ended up with. And then after your people had their church sermons, they went outside with their picnics and took pictures with the strange fruit. You have the nerve. You have the nerve. But yeah, they always want to blame women, especially black women, because if they can't blame all women, they'll blame the black women. Yeah, and then people of color women, it's like it didn't hit hard for them because they were too busy cheering on the white people hurting us. They were too busy joining hands with them because they were just like, oh, as long as we are with the colonizers, we'll be okay. They're going to think we're just like them. But then when it came to COVID, the Asian community found out a little bit like, nah, boo boo. And also the college situation, college exceptions. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, ah, some of them are still, who, who, I'll stop that. Well, but yeah. And then yeah, Middle Eastern community, the Hispanic and the Islanders community, and then the African like community, not black, the African, because some of them come over here and they're just like, oh well, everything's just fine, it's not bad. And yeah, you don't know what our ancestors went through. You don't know what still goes on around here. You have the privilege of not having to have your bloodline go through the struggle. And then it's like, you don't need reparations, we're doing just fine. Yeah, okay, okay. But then they say that dating has nothing to do with politics, or politics has nothing to do with dating, when both of them collide. Because are like pro life or pro choice? And are you vaccinated? And then your environmental views. And then the role of a woman within the house. And your agreement on what is love, what level of love. And I mean, just the way you're going to take care of the children. Is the wife going to have to stay at home? Because, oh, yeah, I didn't even start with, I'm probably going to have another episode, like a part two, point B or something, because with everything I'm talking about, it's like I just keep thinking how women keep being blamed, and they keep telling women what we're supposed to do, and it's to a point where we're not allowed to live our lives. Men can live their lives, but when, like, and then men get a gold star. Men get extra credit if they take their kids to the park, if they drop their kids off at school, if they are seen doing the grocery shopping with the kids, if they go to the concerts or anything like that, they are rewarded. But with women, oh, you're supposed to. You're obligated. You have to. But you're both the parents. If the man cooks the dinners, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Like, if the woman needs to heat up TV dinners for like something kind of quick and easy, you're not a responsible mother. You need to make sure that you give your kids a more like nutritious dinner, and you must not love them or care about them and blah blah blah. Like, mm. I'm at a point where I think we need to create, I think women, we need to have our legislators. I think we need our Congress and like the people in charge politically to write laws for when, if, if there is a stay-at-home spouse, male or female, when the person, like when the other spouse works, after you pay the bills, then that spouse has to split the money in half. They have to split the money in half, because so I keep seeing so many, because like the Republican women, or well, they don't have to be Republican all the time, but a lot of the women who are convinced to quit your job, stay at home, and then some men have the nerve to say it's not work, but then they don't want to do it, cooking and cleaning, making the doctor's appointments, and then even with the kids, like the homework and dropping them off and the after school activities, they say that's not work. But then they don't want to do it. If it's not work, why don't you want to do it? If it's not work, you should be able to do it just fine on your own. If you think it's so much fun, you do it. Right? Right? So I think there should be a law that is like after the rent, water, and all of the other like key things, like maybe even the cars or whatever are paid off, then whatever's left is split, because she worked too. She or he, because sometimes it is a he, majority of the time, but yeah, it can be both. Over the last few years, I've met a few, and yeah, both ways, I think, because they work all day. And a lot of spouses don't appreciate that work. They don't appreciate that home cooked meal or whatever meal they got. They don't appreciate a clean house with no dust, clean floors. It's like the laundry done. They don't appreciate their kids like with their homework done, or like even the science fair, or all of the other things that goes on with like parenting. It's like if a kid has a crush. It's like I remember when Mr. No Heart's oldest daughter had a crush, and she's talking and telling me about the guy and everything like that. And it's like, but I sat there and I listened, I paid attention. And yes, I know I've never been a mom, but I mean, she called me stepmom, and I had to say, oh, like, no, 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 you can call me honorary mom, maybe. Because remember, well, okay, I'm running out of time, but go back. I tell that story. I tell that story. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.